Doctors recommend 1 egg per day for seniors, but warn against these 5. I have seen a lot in my time. I have watched generations grow, habits change, and medical advice shift back and forth like the tide. But there is one thing that has remained constant. Health is the most precious gift we have. When you reach the later years of life, you start to realize that every choice you make, every bite you take, plays a role in how well you feel each day. That is why I am here to talk about something simple but powerful. The humble egg. Doctors recommend eating 1 egg per day for seniors. And believe me, they know what they're talking about. But there are also 5 things they warn against. Things that could quietly chip away at your well-being if you're not careful. I remember when I was young, breakfast was a feast. My mother would fry up eggs and butter, stack them next to bacon, and serve them with a thick slice of bread slathered in something sweet. We never thought twice about it. The smell alone could bring the whole house to life. But as I grew older, I started paying attention to what my body was telling me. I learned that while eggs are packed with protein, vitamins, and healthy fats that keep muscle strong and the brain sharp, it is not just about what you eat. It is about how you eat it. Doctors say 1 egg a day can help maintain muscle mass, support heart health, and keep the mind clear. But here is where people get it wrong. Some folks drown their eggs in butter and grease. Others load up on salt, thinking a little extra flavor will not hurt. Then there are those who combine their eggs with processed meats, thinking it makes for a hearty breakfast. But these habits can slowly turn against you. The first mistake people make is cooking eggs in unhealthy fats. I have seen many of my friends use oils that do more harm than good. Instead of reaching for olive oil or a simple spray of cooking oil, they go for margarine or hydrogenated oils. These oils are loaded with trans fats that clog the arteries and make the heart work harder than it should. It is like trying to run a race with weights tied to your ankles. Sooner or later, your heart will struggle to keep up. The second thing doctors warn against is eating eggs with processed meats. I will admit, there was a time when I loved a good plate of eggs and sausage. The sizzling sound, the smell, the satisfaction of a hearty meal. But what I did not realize back then was that those processed meats were packed with sodium and preservatives that can raise blood pressure and increase the risk of heart disease. Doctors say nitrates and nitrites found in these meats can cause inflammation in the body. And trust me, when you're older, inflammation is the last thing you want. It makes your joints ache, your energy drop, and your body feel like it is wading through mud. The third mistake people make is adding too much salt. Now, I know what you are thinking. What is an egg without a little salt? And I agree. But the problem is, most people go overboard without even realizing it. A sprinkle turns into a pour, and before you know it, you are consuming more sodium than your body can handle. Too much salt leads to high blood pressure, and high blood pressure is like a silent thief, stealing your health little by little. It does not announce itself loudly. It creeps in. First, a little dizziness, then headaches. Then one day, the doctor tells you that your heart is working too hard. And let me tell you, once you hear those words, there is no going back. You have to make changes before it is too late. The fourth thing doctors warn about is skipping the yolk. I have seen many people, in an attempt to be healthy, throw away the best part of the egg. They eat only the whites, thinking they are avoiding cholesterol. But they are also tossing away essential nutrients. The yolk is where the good stuff is. Vitamins like B12, D, and choline, all of which are crucial for keeping the brain sharp and the body running smoothly. Skipping the yolk is like buying a car and throwing away the engine. You might still have something that looks good on the outside, but it will not take you far. The fifth and final mistake is overcooking eggs. Now, I know we were all raised differently. Some folks like their eggs runny. Some like them firm. But what many do not realize is that overcooking eggs can destroy some of their nutrients. Not to mention, it can create harmful compounds that are tough on the body. When eggs are cooked at very high temperatures, they can produce oxidized cholesterol. And that is not something you want floating around in your system. It is like pouring sludge into a clean pipe. Over time, it builds up, causing trouble you do not need. So what does all this mean? It means that while doctors stand by the power of 1 egg a day, they also warn that how you prepare and eat it makes all the difference. The key is balance. Cook your egg in a little olive oil or simply boil it. Pair it with fresh vegetables instead of processed meats. Use herbs and spices for flavor instead of drowning it in salt. And do not be afraid of the yolk. That little golden center holds more benefits than you can imagine. I have lived long enough to see people make the same mistakes over and over. I have seen friends struggle with health issues that could have been avoided with simple changes. And if there's one thing I have learned, it is that small decisions add up over time. You do not have to give up the foods you love. You just have to be smart about them. One egg a day is a gift. It is a small but powerful way to keep your body strong and your mind sharp. But do it right, because the little things you do today will shape the way you feel tomorrow. And believe me, when you get to a certain age, you will wish you had paid attention sooner. What are the biggest misconceptions about eggs and aging? And how can seniors make informed choices based on science rather than outdated beliefs? I have seen a lot of things change over the years. The way people eat, the way they think about food, and the way science seems to flip back and forth on what is good for us and what is not. When I was young, we did not think twice about eggs. They were a staple on every breakfast table. My mother used to crack them fresh, cook them up with whatever we had, and serve them with a smile. We did not count cholesterol. We did not worry about what was in the yolk. We just ate, and we were strong. But somewhere along the way, people started to fear eggs. Suddenly, they were blamed for everything from heart disease to high cholesterol. Doctors warned against eating too many. People started throwing away the yolks. And before you knew it, eggs became one of the most misunderstood foods out there. Now, after decades of research, science is saying something different. It turns out eggs were never the enemy. The real problem was how people were eating them and what they were pairing them with. But the damage had already been done. Many seniors still hold on to those old fears. They hesitate before cracking an egg. They worry that one bite might be too much. But the truth is, eggs are one of the best foods a senior can eat. They're packed with protein that keeps muscles from wasting away. They have choline, which helps keep the brain sharp and focused. They have vitamin D, something so many older people lack. And yet, many seniors are still afraid of them. That fear is holding them back from something that could actually help them stay strong and independent. One of the biggest misconceptions is that eggs are bad for the heart. I remember when people first started talking about cholesterol like it was some kind of monster hiding in our food. They said eggs had too much of it, that if you ate them too often, your arteries would clog up like an old drain. People started skipping breakfast altogether or replacing eggs with highly processed cereals and sugary foods. But now we know that the cholesterol in eggs does not work the way people thought it did. Studies show that for most people, eating eggs does not actually raise bad cholesterol levels. In fact, they can help increase good cholesterol, the kind that keeps your heart healthy. It turns out that the real culprits of heart disease are things like trans fats, processed foods, and too much sugar. But eggs? They were never the problem. Another mistake people make is thinking that egg whites are healthy while yolks should be avoided. I have seen so many people toss out the best part of the egg, thinking they're doing something good for themselves. But that golden yolk is where all the vitamins and minerals are hiding. Without it, you're just eating protein with no real nutrients. The yolk has vitamin B12, which keeps the nervous system running smoothly. It has antioxidants that protect the eyes from diseases like macular degeneration. It even has a little bit of healthy fat that helps the body absorb other important nutrients. When people skip the yolk, they're missing out on everything that makes eggs such a powerhouse food. Some seniors believe that eggs should only be eaten a few times a week, that there's something to be rationed carefully like medicine. But doctors today are saying the opposite. One egg a day is not just safe, it is beneficial, especially for older adults who need all the protein and nutrients they can get. Protein becomes more important with age. It helps prevent muscle loss, keeps the bones strong, and even plays a role in repairing cells. And eggs are one of the best sources of high-quality protein out there. They are easy to digest, they are affordable, and they do not require much preparation. For someone in their senior years, that makes them one of the easiest ways to stay well-nourished without much effort. Another myth I have heard is that eggs cause weight gain. Now, let me tell you something. When I was younger, people did not worry about every little thing they ate. They worked hard. They moved their bodies. They ate real food. But now people sit more. They eat things from boxes and bags instead of fresh from the farm. And yet, they blame things like eggs for their weight problems. The truth is, eggs are one of the most filling foods you can eat. If you start a day with eggs instead of a bowl of sugary cereal or a slice of white bread, you will stay full longer. You will eat less junk throughout the day. That is because eggs help regulate blood sugar. They provide steady energy without the crash. They are not the cause of weight gain. They are part of the solution. One of the saddest misconceptions I've come across is the idea that eggs are not necessary, that they do not make much of a difference in how someone feels. But I have seen with my own eyes what happens when seniors do not get enough protein. Their muscles shrink. Their energy fades. They become weaker and more tired with each passing year. And it does not have to be that way. A simple habit, like eating an egg each morning, can help prevent that decline. It can give the body the building blocks it needs to stay strong and keep moving. And movement is life. The moment you stop moving, everything starts to fall apart. So how can seniors make informed choices instead of relying on outdated fears? The first step is to listen to real science, not old myths. Nutrition has come a long way, and we know more now than ever before. Eggs are not dangerous. They are not something to fear. They are one of the best foods for aging bodies. The second step is to pay attention to how eggs are eaten. Frying them in butter and pairing them with processed meats is not the same as boiling them or cooking them in a little olive oil. The third step is to make eggs part of a balanced diet. They work best when eaten alongside fresh vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. Can seniors with specific health conditions like diabetes or high cholesterol safely eat eggs daily, or should they modify their intake? I have seen health advice change so many times over the years that it is almost amusing. One day, a certain food is good for you. The next day, they say it will cause all sorts of problems. And then, a decade later, science catches up and realizes that maybe it was not so bad after all. That has certainly been the case with eggs. I remember a time when no one questioned them. We ate them daily without a second thought. They were a simple, nourishing food that kept us strong. Then came the warnings. Too much cholesterol, bad for the heart, dangerous for people with diabetes. People started throwing away the yolks, cutting back to only a few eggs a week. Some stopped eating them altogether. But now, science is finally telling the truth. And that truth is something I have known all along. Eggs are not the enemy. They are one of the best foods a senior can eat. Even those with health conditions like diabetes or high cholesterol can enjoy them. They just need to be smart about how they do it. I have known plenty of folks who struggle with diabetes. And let me tell you, the real danger is not eggs. It is sugar. It is refined carbohydrates. It is all those packaged foods filled with ingredients no one can even pronounce. The reason people with diabetes were once told to avoid eggs was because of an old misunderstanding about cholesterol. Doctors believed that dietary cholesterol automatically raised blood cholesterol. But now we know that the cholesterol in eggs does not work that way for most people. It does not cause dangerous spikes. What has caused trouble for diabetics is a diet filled with processed foods that send blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. Eggs, on the other hand, are one of the most stable blood sugar-friendly foods you can eat. They provide high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential vitamins without causing sharp spikes in glucose. That is exactly what a person with diabetes needs. But of course, there's a right way and a wrong way to eat eggs. I have seen too many people cook them up in unhealthy oils, load them with processed meats like bacon or sausage, and then pile them onto a plate full of white toast and hash browns. That is where the real problem lies. It is not the eggs that are hurting people. It is what they are paired with. If a senior with diabetes eats eggs alongside fresh vegetables, whole grains, or a little avocado, they're getting a meal that will keep their energy steady and their blood sugar in check. If they drown them in butter and pair them with deep-fried foods, that is when trouble starts. It is never just about one single food. It is about the whole picture. Now, let's talk about high cholesterol. I know plenty of people my age who still believe eggs are dangerous for their hearts. They have spent decades avoiding them, thinking they're doing the right thing. But science has finally caught up to what should have been common sense all along. The cholesterol in eggs does not automatically clog arteries. In fact, for most people, eating eggs has little to no effect on their cholesterol levels. What has raised bad cholesterol is eating too much sugar, trans fats, and highly processed junk food. But eggs? They are full of nutrients that actually support heart health. The yolk alone contains choline, which helps brain function, and antioxidants that protect the eyes. It even has the kind of healthy fats that the body needs. For seniors with high cholesterol, the key is balance. If someone has a history of heart disease, they might not want to eat 5 eggs a day. But 1 egg a day? That is not just safe. It is beneficial. The mistake many people make is focusing on just one food instead of looking at their whole diet. A person can avoid eggs completely, but still have dangerously high cholesterol if they are eating the wrong kinds of fats and sugars. On the other hand, someone who eats eggs but also fills their plate with fresh vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains is going to be in much better shape. It is all about the bigger picture. I have also heard people say that seniors should avoid eggs because they might contribute to weight gain. That is just another misunderstanding. Eggs are actually one of the most satisfying foods out there. If a senior starts their day with eggs, they are far less likely to snack on unhealthy foods later on. I have seen it happen time and time again. The people who eat a good, protein-rich breakfast tend to eat less junk throughout the day. The people who skip breakfast or load up on sugary cereals end up feeling tired and hungry just a few hours later. Eggs keep you full. They provide lasting energy. They help maintain muscle mass, which becomes even more important as the years go by. So should seniors with diabetes or high cholesterol eat eggs daily? The answer is yes, but with a little common sense. They should pay attention to how they prepare them. Boiled, poached, or cooked in a little olive oil is far better than deep-fried and unhealthy fats. They should be mindful of what they eat alongside them. A plate of eggs with fresh vegetables and whole grains is a completely different meal than eggs with processed meats and fried potatoes. And most importantly, they should focus on the big picture. It is not just about eggs. It is about an overall healthy lifestyle. I have seen too many seniors deny themselves good, nourishing foods because of outdated fears. I have seen them fill their plates with so-called healthy alternatives that are actually making them worse. But now we know better. Science has cleared eggs of all those old accusations. They are not dangerous. They are not something to fear. They are one of the most nutritious foods out there, especially for aging bodies. The key is to eat them wisely, to pair them with the right foods, to focus on real, whole ingredients instead of processed junk. How does egg consumption fit into a balanced diet for seniors? And what are the best foods to pair with eggs for maximum benefits? I have seen too many seniors get caught up in old myths about eggs. Some believe they are bad for the heart. Others think they will make them gain weight. And then there are those who fear eating too many will cause health problems down the road. But science has finally caught up with common sense. Eggs are not the enemy. They are one of the most complete sources of protein, filled with vitamins and healthy fats that the body craves. They help maintain muscle mass, keep the brain functioning well, and even support good eye health. The key is not in avoiding them. It is in knowing how to fit them into a well-rounded diet that fuels the body in all the right ways. The way I see it, eggs are like a foundation. They provide a strong base, but what you build on top of that foundation matters just as much. I have watched people make 2 very different choices with the same plate of eggs. One person scrambles them in butter, adds processed meats like bacon or sausage, and pairs them with white toast and sugary spreads. Another person cooks them with fresh vegetables, sprinkles a little cheese or avocado on top, and eats them alongside a handful of whole grains. Both meals contain eggs, but only one is truly balanced. It is never just about the eggs themselves. It is about what you eat with them. For a senior looking to make the most of their egg consumption, the best foods to pair with them are those that provide fiber, healthy fats, and essential vitamins. One of the best choices is vegetables. I have always said that the more colors on your plate, the better. Spinach, tomatoes, bell peppers, mushrooms, these are all wonderful additions to eggs. They add fiber, antioxidants, and minerals that keep the body functioning at its best. A simple omelet filled with greens can do wonders for digestion, heart health, and even brain function. And it does not take much effort to prepare. A few chopped vegetables, a little seasoning, and suddenly you have a meal that is not only delicious but packed with benefits. Another great pairing for eggs is whole grains. I know plenty of people who still reach for white bread or sugary cereals in the morning, but that is not doing them any favors. A slice of whole grain toast, a serving of oatmeal, or even some quinoa can turn an egg-based meal into something far more nutritious. Whole grains help keep blood sugar steady, provide long-lasting energy, and support heart health. I have always believed that meals should leave a person feeling satisfied and strong, not sluggish or hungry again an hour later. Eggs combined with whole grains do exactly that. They work together to keep the body fueled throughout the day. Healthy fats are another key ingredient in a balanced diet, especially for seniors. Too many people still fear fats, thinking they will lead to weight gain or heart problems. But the right kind of fats are essential. They keep the brain sharp. They support joint health. They even help absorb vitamins more effectively. Pairing eggs with foods like avocado, olive oil, or a handful of nuts can make a real difference. A simple breakfast of eggs and avocado on whole grain toast is not just tasty. It is a powerhouse of nutrition, the kind of meal that leaves a person feeling nourished and ready to take on the day. I have also found that dairy, when chosen wisely, pairs beautifully with eggs. A little bit of cheese can add flavor and extra protein, while yogurt can provide probiotics for good digestion. The key here is moderation. Some seniors have trouble with dairy, but for those who can tolerate it, a small portion can complement eggs quite well. Greek yogurt, for example, is packed with protein and can be a great addition to a balanced meal. A breakfast that includes eggs, a bit of yogurt, and some fresh fruit is both satisfying and nutritious. Speaking of fruit, it is another great way to round out an egg-based meal. Too many people load up on fruit juices, thinking they're making a healthy choice, but those drinks are often full of sugar without the fiber needed to balance them out. Whole fruits, on the other hand, provide natural sweetness along with fiber and essential nutrients. Berries, apples, and oranges can be a refreshing and beneficial addition to a meal that includes eggs. They help with digestion, provide a boost of antioxidants, and offer a touch of natural energy. One thing I always tell people is that the way you cook your eggs matters just as much as what you eat with them. I have seen too many people drown their eggs in butter or fry them in unhealthy oils and then wonder why their health is suffering. The best way to prepare eggs is to keep it simple. Boiled, poached, or cooked in a small amount of olive oil are some of the healthiest choices. These methods keep all the good nutrients intact without adding unnecessary fats. At the end of the day, balance is everything. Eggs alone are a fantastic source of nutrition, but when combined with the right foods, they become even more powerful. Seniors should not be afraid of eggs. They should embrace them as part of a well-rounded diet that includes plenty of fresh vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, and lean proteins. The body changes as it ages, but its need for real, nourishing food never goes away. A diet built around whole, natural ingredients will always be the best choice. I have lived long enough to see people complicate nutrition far more than they need to. They chase trends. They fear the wrong foods. They forget that the simplest, most natural foods are often the best for them. Eggs have been a staple of the human diet for generations for good reason. They are packed with everything a person needs to stay strong, sharp, and healthy. When paired with the right foods, they become even better. A senior who starts their day with eggs, fresh vegetables, whole grains, and a little healthy fat is setting themselves up for success. They're giving their body what it truly needs. And in the end, that is the key to a long and vibrant life. If you like today's discussion, don't forget to like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with every video we release. And yes, don't forget to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments. Every comment is special to us. Your feedback helps us improve further. We'll continue to meet you in every new video on this channel. So until next time, take care.